Welcome back to my channel with new update. Sean O'Malley has his sight set on a massive opportunity as he believes a dominant win at UFC 324 could put him on track for a championship showdown against Tsarukyan at the highly anticipated UFC White House event. O'Malley is scheduled to face Song Yadong at UFC 304 in January, and according to the former bantamweight champion, a standout performance could earn him a title shot on one of the most historic cards in UFC history. While some fans argue that Merab Dvalishvili deserves another opportunity after multiple title defenses, O'Malley feels the matchup the UFC truly wants is him versus Yan, especially given the symbolic importance of the White House card. O'Malley explained that his motivation shifted significantly after Tsarukyan defeated Merab Dvalishvili. He believes that moment sparked a new level of focus and urgency, pushing him to deliver a statement performance against Song Yadong. O'Malley acknowledged the criticism surrounding his recent losses, but emphasized that a dominant showing, whether through a technical clinic or a knockout, would change the narrative entirely. In his view, once UFC 324 concludes, fans will want to see only one fight: Sean O'Malley versus Tsarukyan on American soil, with several major stars potentially unavailable due to injuries or personal issues. The UFC may be limited in options for headlining talent. O'Malley believes this works in his favor, as the promotion is likely to stack the White House card with American fighters, making him a logical choice if he wins in January. O'Malley also revealed a personal milestone, sharing that he has officially been off social media for 1 full year. He described the decision as life-changing, explaining that stepping away from platforms like Instagram and Twitter has improved his mental health, focus, and overall peace. While he still watches content on YouTube, he has made a conscious effort to avoid short-form distractions. According to O'Malley, this past year has been the best of his life mentally, and he feels more prepared than ever heading into his next fight. In other MMA news, former champion Luke Rockhold criticized the UFC for what he perceives as favoritism toward Paddy Pimblett. Rockhold suggested the promotion is doing everything possible to position Pimblett for a title run, questioned the value of interim belts, and praising fighters who prioritize earning undisputed championships. Rockhold also highlighted Arman Tsarukyan's elite grappling, suggesting it could pose serious problems for Ilia Topuria if the two were to meet. He believes such a matchup would test Topuria's ground game like never before. As the UFC calendar moves forward, several fights have been announced, setting the stage for an exciting start to the new year. Arman Tsarukyan is set to stay extremely active as he continues to compete outside the UFC, with a high-profile grappling matchup now officially confirmed. It was recently announced that Tsarukyan will face former PFL champion Lance Palmer at Real American Freestyle 5, scheduled to take place on January 10. The bout will be contested at lightweight and marks Tsarukyan's first appearance under the RDF banner. This matchup will be Tsarukyan's third grappling contest in a span of just over a month, highlighting his commitment to staying sharp and active between UFC appearances. His recent run began with a title bout in Moscow, where he competed for an SCBJ belt and emerged victorious, adding another accolade to his growing resume. He is also scheduled to face UFC fighter Sharaput Magomed at Hype FC on December 30, making the Palmer matchup the final stop in a demanding stretch of competition. Facing Lance Palmer presents a serious challenge for Tsarukyan. Palmer is widely respected for his wrestling pedigree and competitive experience. He is a two-time PFL champion and a former World Series of Fighting featherweight champion, accomplishment that place him among the most decorated fighters to transition into the grappling scene. In addition to his professional success, Palmer boasts an elite amateur background as a 4-time NCAA Division I All-American, making him one of the most accomplished wrestlers Tsarukyan has faced in a submission-focused format. While Tsarukyan is known for his well-rounded skill set and high-level grappling, This matchup will test his ability to deal with relentless pressure and elite wrestling control. Palmer's experience in high-stakes competition and his ability to dictate positioning could make this one of Tsarukyan's toughest non-MMA challenges to date. Beyond Tsarukyan versus Palmer, Real American Freestyle 5 is shaping up to be one of the most stacked grappling cards of the year. The event comes at a perfect time for combat sport fans during a quieter stretch in the UFC calendar. The card also features Bo Nickel taking on Yoel Romero in a highly anticipated clash of explosive athleticism and wrestling dominance, as well as Colby Covington facing Luke Rockhold in another intriguing matchup that blends striking, grappling, and competitive intensity. With its combination of elite wrestlers, former champions, and crossover stars, RF5 promises to deliver a compelling start to the new year and provide fans with high-level action outside the traditional UFC spotlight. Luke Rockhold has voiced strong criticism toward the UFC, accusing the promotion of deliberately pushing Paddy Pimblett toward a future title opportunity. Ahead of UFC 324, the MMA community has been divided on the matchmaking and promotional direction surrounding Pimblett, and Rockhold made it clear that he is not a fan of how the situation is being handled. During a recent appearance on Submission Radio, the former UFC middleweight champion questioned the UFC's intentions, suggesting that Pimblett is being fast-tracked into a title conversation without earning it through the traditional path. Rockhold expressed frustration with what he sees as preferential treatment, claiming the promotion is doing everything possible to place Pimblett in favorable matchups that increase his chances of winning a belt. Rockhold also criticized the growing emphasis on interim titles, stating that they have lost their meaning in today's UFC landscape. He pointed to fighters like Justin Gaethje as examples of competitors who understand that interim belts do not carry the same weight as undisputed championships. According to Rockhold, true champions are focused on facing the best competition available, rather than benefiting from promotional shortcuts or convenient matchmaking. He further argued that Pimblett already speaks as if a championship is inevitable, which bothers him given the level of competition in the division. Rockhold believes the UFC is prioritizing marketability and fan appeal over merit, particularly in an effort to revive excitement and support from the UK fan base. While he acknowledged Pimblett's popularity, he questioned whether that alone should justify a fast-track title push. In addition to his criticism of the UFC's promotional strategy, Rockhold took time to praise Arman Tsarukyan for his recent performances, particularly highlighting his elite grappling ability. Rockhold believes Tsarukyan's wrestling and ground control place him among the best in the division and could present serious problems for current champion Ilia Topuria if the two were to meet. According to Rockhold, such a matchup would truly test Topuria's abilities on the ground. While he acknowledged that Topuria is highly skilled and well-rounded, he emphasized that Tsarukyan operates at an elite level when it comes to grappling exchanges. Rockhold suggested that a fight between the two would answer many questions about how Topuria handles sustained pressure in high-level wrestling. The discussion has sparked debate among fans, with many now weighing in on whether Pimblett's rise is being artificially accelerated and how a potential Tsarukyan versus Topuria matchup might unfold. As the UFC continues to move forward with stacked cards and high-profile narratives, these conversations highlight ongoing concerns about fairness, competition, and the true meaning of championship contention in modern mixed martial arts. The UFC appears to be continuing a significant roster shakeup, as several fighters have recently been removed from the promotion. After reports of multiple cuts earlier in the week, another wave of departure has now been confirmed, with a noticeable number of European fighters affected. The trend was first highlighted by MMA reporter Tom Feely, sparking widespread discussion within the MMA community. The most surprising name among the removals was Rainer de Ritter Fakhretdinov, whose departure left many fans confused. Fakhretdinov had compiled an impressive undefeated record inside the UFC, going 6-0 with one draw. Given his consistent performances and momentum, his exit raised immediate questions. MMA Junkie's Nolan King later confirmed through sources that Fakhretdinov was not released outright, but instead fought out his contract, which ultimately was not renewed. At this time, the exact reasons behind the decision remain unclear. The MMA community reacted strongly, with many fans criticizing the UFC's priorities. Some pointed out the contrast between undefeated fighters being let go while more established names on losing streaks continued to receive main card placement. Critics argued that the promotion is increasingly focused on entertainment value and marketability rather than competitive merit. Others suggested that business considerations play a larger role, noting that fighters who do not generate significant revenue may struggle to secure long-term contracts regardless of performance. Fakhretdinov later addressed the situation himself, confirming that his contract had simply expired. He emphasized that no one was fired and that negotiations did not progress for reasons he chose not to disclose publicly. He reassured fans that nothing negative occurred and revealed that new offers had already begun coming in, some with improved financial terms. He also made it clear that his motivation has always been rooted in competition rather than money, adding that he remains confident about his future both inside and outside the sport. Another fighter removed from the roster was Loik Radzhabov. Unlike Fakhretdinov's case, Radzhabov's departure was less surprising. He had not competed since his loss to Trey Ogden in July 2024 and held a 2-2 record during his UFC tenure. Prolonged inactivity likely contributed to the UFC's decision not to continue the relationship. The final confirmed removal was Elizu Zaleski dos Santos, a long-time welterweight contender who compiled an 11-6-1 record in the UFC. Merab Dvalishvili and Ilia Topuria are currently training together in Spain, offering fans a rare look at two elite UFC champions sharing the same camp. The update came after Dvalishvili posted a video on social media showing him working on his boxing alongside Topuria, highlighting the mutual respect and collaboration between the two high-level fighters. In the footage, Dvalishvili explained that he has been focusing on improving his striking, particularly his boxing, while training with Topuria and his team. Known primarily for his relentless wrestling, cardio, and pressure-based style, Dvalishvili acknowledged that boxing is an area he continues to develop. He openly credited Topuria for his technical ability, describing him as a very high-level boxer and praising his overall skill set. The training session took place in Spain, where Topuria is based, and included several members of his camp and coaching staff. The atmosphere appeared relaxed yet focused, with both fighters exchanging techniques and pushing each other in a competitive but respectful environment. The collaboration between two fighters from different divisions has drawn attention, as both are widely regarded as among the best in the sport at their respective weights. For Dvalishvili, working with Topuria provides an opportunity to sharpen his stand-up game while maintaining his trademark wrestling-heavy approach. For Topuria, training with an elite grappler like Dvalishvili offers valuable preparation against high-pressure opponents who can mix wrestling and pace effectively. The partnership showcases how top-level fighters continue to seek improvement even after reaching championship status. Fans were quick to react positively to the training footage, with many praising the work ethic and humility displayed by both fighters. Seeing champions collaborate rather than compete has become increasingly appreciated within the MMA community, especially when it leads to technical growth and knowledge sharing. Following these training updates, attention has shifted back to broader UFC news, including recent roster changes that have impacted several fighters. While the training footage provided a positive highlight, the evolving landscape of the UFC continues to generate discussion as the promotion moves forward with upcoming events and organizational decisions. Colby Covington has already begun calling out potential opponents for his next appearance under the Real American Freestyle banner, and one name he has singled out is former UFC welterweight champion Tyron Woodley. At this stage, Covington does not appear particularly focused on returning to UFC competition, instead showing interest in high-profile crossover matchups. While some speculate he may be waiting to see how the rumored UFC White House card develops, Covington has made it clear that he is open to alternative opportunities. In a video posted to his YouTube channel, Covington addressed Woodley directly, criticizing his recent boxing career and challenging him to compete in a Real American Freestyle match. Covington questioned Woodley's decision to continue boxing, arguing that it does not align with his strongest skill set. He suggested that Woodley's legacy as a former champion has been overshadowed by recent losses, and expressed the belief that Woodley would be better suited returning to a wrestling-based format. Covington emphasized that Woodley was never known primarily for his boxing, but instead built his success through elite wrestling credentials, including his background as an All-American competitor. He encouraged Woodley to step away from boxing and consider a different path, proposing Real American Freestyle as an opportunity to compete in an environment more aligned with his strengths. The call-out came with added context, as Covington is scheduled to face Luke Rockhold at Real American Freestyle on January 10. He stated that following that matchup, Woodley would have the chance to compete against him next if he chose to accept the challenge. Covington framed the potential bout as an opportunity for redemption, positioning it as a way for Woodley to re-establish himself in combat sports. As expected, Covington's remarks sparked immediate reactions from fans, with opinions divided over the tone and intent of the call-out. While some criticized the personal nature of his comments, others viewed it as standard promotional tactic, designed to generate interest and build anticipation for future events. Regardless, the challenge has added another layer of intrigue to the growing Real American Freestyle platform.